Dried mango is good. I feel like every time I do a session, I always feel like I have to have something to eat or drink. Like, it can't ever just be simple. It can't just ever be just a glass of water or nothing. I always have to have something because I'm a glutton. I'm a glutton for food. At least this time it's a fruit, but probably not very good for you either way. What's up? We are back with Justice for All. This may or may not be the last session. Do you think I can power through it? Also, yes, I'm still eating this mango as opposed to finishing off camera. But, this piece is big. So I'm just gonna eat it while I'm talking. I hope that's okay. Yeah, so we're in the... We last left off, we were... So, what did we... We last left off on an investigation because our trial that was supposed to be only one day ended up not... It ended up passing into the next day because we couldn't get an acquittal. And the Phoenix was talking to the kidnapper about being like, hey, as long as I get a not guilty, you should be good enough, right? Don't fucking do it thing. And the killer's like, damn, you right, fam. So we're now going into the second day of trial, which should be the last because we got a really big reveal. Yeah, so this should be the last. As in the last trial day. I'd imagine I'm gonna probably power through and finish this all in this one session. I don't imagine taking a break from this one. Or like taking a, like, you know, I could probably take a few minutes break, but not like a full day break or anything. Let's just get into it. Are we back in the beginning of the game? How'd I get into this mess? I forgot I was supposed to be... I was supposed to just let it play. That's far enough! I forgot. You can't run forever! Mr. Phoenix, right? I was like literally just letting the cutscene play without saying anything. I mean, we've seen it before. This is what's in the beginning. What have I done wrong? I cannot allow you to eat a dried mango while you're in court. Not like this. What? The dried mangoes are delicious. I'm just a civil defense attorney. Silence. You are no longer worthy of your title. Give me that mango. Maybe he had that dream again. Oh, I've had this dream before. Someplace, some time ago. As if this day was written into my destiny. Today I'll stand in court as a lawyer. To prove a killer innocent. Right. Also, you're probably most definitely hearing construction noise in the back. It do be like that sometimes, yeah. Alright. Oh, sorry, I should pick that up. Hello? This is Phoenix, right? What? What's this? Hajime, you don't look so well, dude. Okay. You're gonna prove me not guilty today, right? Right. There's the reveal. There he is, the evil man. What was his voice? His voice was like all over the place when I did it because I was like at like the brink of death when it got to his part. If you please, Mr. Lawyer. I don't fucking doesn't matter. Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict, too. Arrgh.
Now listen up. You'd better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you. Ever.
Maya.
Phoenix.
Is it Mia? It is Mia.
Mia! Maya! How's Maya?
I don't know.
You don't know?
She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday.
Mia, what am I supposed to do?
Tough shit, boy. I'm dead. Just imagine.
Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles. But
you can't give up.
There's still some hope left. Stop it, please! There's nothing left! Not here. Not anywhere.
Oh, something's calling me. I guess that's the hope that I was looking for.
Ah, it's that accursed On Guard again. Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore. I mean it.
Hey, pal. You're really mean, pal.
Gumshoe! Oh, I'm really sorry. Where are you?
They let me join the investigation team and we're chasing after the killer, pal. That's so nice that they called you back.
And you have some sort of lead?
Sorry. Hey, pal. Sorry, but right now we've got 0 leads on the guy. But we're not gonna give up.
Gumshoe.
Until the trial's over, until the verdict is handed down, we're gonna do everything we can to find the killer. If we can get Maya out, then you can get On Guard the guilty verdict he deserves, pal.
That's true. I could do that if they found Maya first.
You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make that trial last longer.
I have to make the trial last longer?
If you go on Mr. Edwards with everything you've got, then you two can draw it out.
Oh, now I get it.
I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edward can do it. So, believe in us. We're gonna give it all we've got, just like you.
Gumshoe! Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe. Gumshoe! Our nakama!
Oh, so this is gonna be one of those days where I have to fuss with the properties, not the properties, the settings on my camera because it's like dark. Even though it's not really actually that dark here, it's just that the camera is not like, you know how cameras be sometimes. Whoops, that's not where I wanted to go. Hold up, let me try that again. So how's it going? This is what happens when you don't have controlled light. That's why all professionals have controlled lighting. I am not profesh.
Hey, Phoenix. You understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance.
Yeah! Friends! I was literally about to say money. I mean, having money would be nice too.
Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through. I know it.
Yeah, he's never let us down. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Ungard.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being what exactly was Miss Adrian Andrews' role in this murder. Right, a lot of the trial dealt with her, and there was a lot of things that happened, but I'm sure you've already seen it. That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edward, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings. Adrian Andrews.
Oh my god.
She forged what? She forged. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. Ongard, and then proceeded to escape the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of these actions are those from which she cannot escape. And you're saying that she is guilty after all? I'm not finished, Your Honor. Shut up. Miss Andrews had nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card. What is that? That looks like a shell. This is the calling card of a certain assassin. Assassin, you say? Man, you should trace back to the printer shop that fucking printing out these cards for him. I'm sure you can find it. Yes, Juan Corrido was killed by a professional assassin. And the person who hired the assassin, his client, so to speak, is Matt Ungard. Man, I wish someone would hire an assassin to kill me painlessly. Not right now. Maybe like 30 years down the line. It'd be so nice. Just so nice to go painlessly. That's all I think of. I think about that too much. I think I might have issues. What a surprising turn of events! Before anyone gets spooked by what I said, don't worry, I'm not like like suicidal or anything. It's just don't worry about it. I'm okay. I'm okay, I promise. I would think it's becoming commonplace by now, Your Honor. I know what's going on this time. So I know that everything Edwards has said is true. But we still have to hold out as long as we can. At least until Maya's safe and sound. I wonder how the trial will turn out today. There's only one way to find out. Now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edward. The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand. Defendant's mentor? Is Will his mentor? Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please. Oh, okay. He's still wearing his suit. Man, let the man change. I'm, Will Powers. I'm a poor, underpaid action star. And what is your relation to the defendant? Well, I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way, yeah. Oh, Mr. Powers, please! You don't need to put yourself down so much! Oh, sorry. Well, but I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy. On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yes. What? I didn't know that. Yeah, why didn't you tell us, you fucker? But you know, I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went. All you need to do is answer what you've asked. All you need to do is answer what you're asked. Sorry, that makes more sense. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you went to Mr. Unguard's room. Am I okay? I literally just started. I know I didn't get much sleep last night, but isn't that every night for me? Come on. Okay, sure. Maybe it's because I don't have enough caffeine in me. I did have I did buy like the small bottle of cold brew with almond milk to give it a shot, and it didn't taste very good, so I didn't drink it anymore. Cool story. After the awards ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Wow. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. It's weird, every other time you see Matt, that's not his like actual sprite itself, he looks like better. But when you see his actual sprite doing the hand, and it doesn't look as great. He looks like a child when he's like, whatever. It's besides the point. I'm not trying to fucking say, I'm not trying to say a fucking evil man is handsome. Did I read this? I read this. He was talking with someone. At first, I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me at that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me. Will seems like such a nice guy. Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Powers' testimony. And talking with the bellboy is no big deal. If one assumes that the person Mr. Ungard was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy. What are you implying? Tisk. Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we?
Looks like we're in another sticky situation. Huh? A trap. Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're just gonna have to charge in head first, right? Meh.
After the award, I went by myself to Matt's room. Well, we're trying to stall for time, right? Let's just press everything. I don't think we're trying to stall for time in real time, but like, you know. The defendant's room. Why did you go there? Well, I'm his mentor, like a big brother sort of, and I wanted to say congrats. What's wrong? Why did you stop? Mr. Wright. What is it? You're going to try to trick me into a corner, aren't you? Huh? I know I'm just a poor underpaid action star, but I'm not the killer. No one said you were, Mr. Powers. No, please, don't trick me. Every time you do your lawyer thing, the witness suddenly turns into the bad guy. Every time? You're not that far off, but also a lot of the witnesses we've had have been kind of stupid, so. Witness? What? Am I okay? God! I will personally talk to the defense at a later time.
So for now, please kindly cooperate and continue with your testimony.
What's he gonna talk to me about?
So sorry.
So, you went to the defendant's room, and then? Hey, wait a minute. When and how did I suddenly turn into the bad guy here? Man, Will knows that Maya's been kidnapped through. We could have told him the plan and be like, yo, we're trying to fucking stall for time. Can you just, like, find some way to, like, elongate your testimony? I was standing there, blah, blah, blah. Are you sure that was Matt on guard?
Yeah, I'm sure. He wasn't wearing the nickel samurai mask then.
If that's the case, then he really can't be mistaken.
And what was the defendant doing standing in front of his own room? He was talking with... Oh. At first I thought he was the bellboy.
At first? Oh, what do you mean by that?
Well, he was in a bellboyish uniform, and he had a bottle of juice on a tray.
Sounds like an ordinary bellboy to me.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was a normal bellboy.
And why was that?
Why did I think that, Mr. Wright?
You're asking me. How am I supposed to know?
Sorry, but I can't remember right now. Sorry.
Oh, buddy. I guess I'm going to have to wait patiently on this one. Yeah, take your time. We got all the time in the world. No rush. I watched the two of them a while and they gave up and went back. You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant, together, correct?
Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats.
Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange?
You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip.
A tip? But that's a perfectly normal thing to do.
So, how long did you watch the two of them? Not more than a minute or two, I think.
I don't know, don't you typically tip someone, like... Actually, you know what, I've never called a bellboy when I'm at a hotel, so I have actually no idea what the etiquette is like. I'd imagine you would have... I guess it wouldn't make sense to tip at the end, because you might not get the same bellboy coming to whatever. I don't know. I guess me and I couldn't make them wait for me. So who are these guests you're talking about?
You guys, of course. You and Maya and the little Pearl. I thought it would be really rude since I invited you guys if I disappeared on you. So I went back to my seat pretty soon after seeing Matt in the hallway.
This is like squeezing water from a stone. It's probably pointless to press further.
Do you remember this incident? Did Mr. Powers leave his seat that night?
I don't remember that happening at all. Maya was making such a racket in her hyper state. I ended up focusing on her.
I see. In any case, from his story, he probably wasn't gone for very long.
I'm sorry, is there something I'm supposed to present here? Oops. I did not mean to press. I was gonna look to present something. Actually, oh wait, here, this is new. Is this new dialogue? Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago you stated...
You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip.
Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself?
Ah, yeah, that's it. You really know your job.
Mr. Edward?
Yes, Your Honor.
This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he?
Perhaps we should let the witness tell us.
Very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony.
You mean about the bellboy, right? Matt gave the bellboy a tip.
So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that?
Well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me.
How much it was?
But that's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket. And that's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked.
I'm afraid I don't follow at all.
It sounds like Mr. Powers is surprised twice by this event. I wonder which of his shocking moments I should ask about. I mean, both sound like good tips, right? I'm gonna go with the tip. The defendant is a huge star. He can afford to give generous tips. Wouldn't you agree?
Sure. But giving him that much was maybe a little too much, I think.
What if you're just feeling super generous? A little too much. Would you please clarify for the court? About how much would you say the defendant gave to the bellboy?
Honestly, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess.
And why is that?
Because he gave the bellboy a really fat roll of cash.
A roll of cash?
It's just a bunch of singles. That tip is like equate to like $20, which is still a lot for a tip. If you're only getting juice.
Oh, well, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it?
A very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor. The judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. Let's object. I don't know what I'm objecting to.
The defendant is a superstar. That kind of tip is typical fare for people like him.
Can you imagine? Oh my god. No, you're saying that all superstars are super spenders? If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on a trays, then why on earth would I be standing around here prosecuting?
Not everyone can be a bellboy, Edward.
He's got a point. I don't even get paid, let alone rolls of cash for all my hard work.
Well, that's because you fucking hire people that don't pay you. Fucking go after them with bills, boy. So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it?
Payment, Your Honor. Would you not do this, like, privately? Why would you do it outside in the hallway where people can pass by, right by the bathroom? It doesn't make any sense. You had a room, you can just go into the room. I don't, okay.
Okay. Payment?
Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida.
And the bellboy the witness saw.
Yes, he was the assassin.
Oh, Powers' pants goes down to the floor. Hold your horses now, Mr. Edward. You don't have any proof of this, do you?
Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? I have here the card Shelley the killer left at the scene of the crime.
Shelley the killer?
He's the person the police's special investigations team has been chasing for ages. And I am certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley the killer.
Really?
What's wrong? What's wrong, Mr. Powers?
No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head, and I think I just figured something out.
Oh?
Actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night.
What?
I mean...
Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw.
Yes, sir. Right away.
His eyes look like they look like staples, but like when you like, you know how sometimes when you staple something and it doesn't really staple correctly, or you need, you know, when it doesn't staple correctly, you kind of just pull the staple out, and you're left with like a staple that's already has their ends like kind of bent around. Kind of looks like that. He kind of looks like a used staple.
This time, I was in the hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Corrida's room. Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kind of out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin. I'm sure of it. I mean...
And thank you very much. That is all we need for now.
Huh? But I'm not done, and there's still more.
Let us first establish that the bellboy was truly Mr. the Killer. Then we shall see.
So the bellboy came out of the victim's room. And if that bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer's fairly obvious.
That would be correct, Your Honor. But, oh god, that sounded like Will for a second. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn.
to entertain and make us laugh.
Ha 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 ha, ho ho ha ha ho ho. This is no laughing matter.
It's so okay. This time I will. Oh,
bathroom. Let's press everything. Why the fuck not? At what time was it?
ah, well, I don't remember. The award ceremony ended around 8 p.m., right? And when I went to Matt's room pretty soon after that, and then I came back, and then I went to the bathroom. So I guess maybe it was around 8:10 by that time?
You're no one for details, are you, Mr. Powers?
Sorry. I thought I could maybe catch Matt and say my congrats.
When bellboy came out room.
Are you sure it was the same bellboy?
Yeah.
And how could you tell? All the bellboys wear the same uniform after all.
But, you see, well, he had those stitches on his face. So I'm sure it's the same guy that was talking with Matt. And so which room did the bellboy come out of? Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Corrida's room.
The victim's room, huh?
Yeah, the one with all the really pretty flowers and teddy bears. It was Juan's room, alright.
Words cannot describe how screwed I am.
Let's continue with the testimony, shall we?
Now that I think about it, that bellboy seems about our place.
So what exactly was so out of place about him?
Right. Why the insipid grin?
Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing he's gonna say next.
Well, the bellboy was empty-handed.
Empty-handed?
That bellboy was one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart, and he wasn't holding a tray either. You'd call that a little strange too, wouldn't you?
I feel like whenever we get to this part, whenever I come across this part of the game, it's like, I can't help but think back to what happened during VGA when they played this. And how fucking Fraser lost his mind over the fucking bellboy thing. How nostalgic.
I agree that it's a bit strange, Mr. Powers. But is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers' testimony slide, or try to pull a fast one? Let's go. There's nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy.
But there really is.
There really isn't.
If you two are done being school children, bellboys are for room service. There is no reason for them to be empty-handed ever. Sure. Your Honor, Your Honor, I ask that the witness's previous statement be supplemented with this new one.
Yeah, Edward. Are you going to do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious?
Duh. I see. Very well. This court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you could amend your testimony, please. Yes, sir.
I don't know, like realistically speaking. Well, I was gonna say surely you can order something that wouldn't require a tray. But I don't know. Like I said, I whenever I go to hotels, I never order room service or anything, so I've never seen like a bellboy come to me in my life.
So you're saying that it's suspicious for him to be empty-handed?
Yeah, really suspicious. I mean, when I first saw that bellboy, he was holding a tray in his hand. And there was a bottle of juice and a wine glass on it.
Is that wine glass already filled? There's a line. Did he already pour the juice in the glass? Why wouldn't you wait until you... What? Okay, whatever.
Juice? What kind of juice was it?
I'm pretty sure it was tomato juice.
If we could come up with some sort of reason as to why he would come out empty-handed, some sort of proof, then I think we could dodge the bullet on this one for now. Proof, huh? Sounds like another job for the court record.
Oh. What? Okay, I didn't realize I had to... Whoops! I didn't realize, I thought it started me from the beginning of the okay, whatever.
In any case, if that bellboy was the assassin, it would be very bad for us.
But he really is the assassin, you know?
Yes, but you can't give in yet. If you want to prolong this trial for as long as possible, you're going to have to pull some cheap tricks on this one.
Yeah, well, okay.
Boy, empty-handed. Well, what do we have? We have hotel guide map. We have the nickel samurai poster. We have wine glass. We have crime photo.
Can I argue that there's a tray here? Can I argue that? Looks like that's what we're arguing! Mr. Powers.
Yes?
You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true.
But isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and...
So? A baseball has stitches? Are you saying that all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches? Oh my god. Hang on. 1 second. Okay, sorry. I just had to like make a note of this statement, of this like one line, because it's probably gonna be used for the episode of for this episode when it comes out. So I was making a mental note of it.
Gulp. Well, there's also... I mean, what about him being empty-handed?
I would like to ask the court to please take a look here. This is the crime scene. There's a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Korida's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. And now, if you would look at what is on the top of the table in the lower right corner here. Oh god. Phoenix, please stop talking so slow. Anyone can clearly see. I like how I complained that he was talking too slow, and now when he talks fast, I fucking stumble. Anyone can clearly see that it's a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Korida's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left.
Ah, but I would mean that the bellboy had seen and left a dead body in the room.
Ah, but can you prove that Mr. Korida was already dead at the time?
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes.
I blame you for letting me down this road.
I'm terribly sorry. What is with him? Why is he laughing?
Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us? Is there?
The bellboy was empty-handed. Or should I say empty-handed?
What?
I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot.
Huh? What?
He had no hands. That bellboy, he was wearing gloves.
Gloves?
Yeah, pitch black leather ones. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right?
What if he was just trying to fucking look cool?
Black leather gloves. Why didn't you mention them earlier? Sorry, it slipped my mind.
Ah, boy, does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, gotta focus. I can't get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves. See, if this guy was smart, he would have wore like, you know, like the, not antiseptic gloves. What do you fucking call them? The vinyl gloves? The gloves that, like, you know, people nowadays are wearing because they're trying to prevent germs from getting on their hands and all that stuff. Like the ones that doctors sort of wear, like the thin plasticky ones. What do you call them? I forget what they're called. Anyway, besides the point. Should have worn that so people can be like, oh, he's just trying to be clean.
Come on, Mr. Wright. That bellboy was wearing black leather ones.
So? A football is made out of leather? Are you saying that all footballs are suspicious because they're made of leather? God.
Okay, man. He received a large roll of cash from the defendant. And then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that even someone like myself can believe he was just another bellboy.
Erg.
It seems we have finally come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony.
The rest? Oh yes! Please tell us more!
Okay. After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door, just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left, without even going into the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then went back to my seat.
So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room?
Why would you fucking do...
Yeah, I kinda saw all that by accident.
Some accident. I'd say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious to high heaven. I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Mr. White, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor.
Is this the final trial day? I'm wondering...
It has to be, it has to be, it has to be. Okay. I'm just gonna press everything. Is that what you saw while you were busy spying?
Excuse me? I may be a poor underpaid action star, but even I wouldn't stoop to spying.
Well, I think the point is, where did you watch all this from, Mr. Powers?
Oh, from the door of the bathroom with my left eye and a sort of sneaky spy-like.
I knew he was spying.
Please, does it really matter if he was doing it over or underhandedly?
What did the bellboy do next? That's all I care to know.
He gave something to the person inside the room.
I said, hold it!
Okay.
That's better. Ahem. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details.
Oh, okay.
I should probably ask him only one question at a time. Ask about something? He gave something to this person?
Yeah.
What was this something?
Ha. If I remembered what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would I?
This implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime.
Oh, I remember what it is.
Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers?
I think it was something kinda small.
And this is an incredibly crucial piece of information. And please, try to remember what it was.
I'll try.
In the meantime, let's talk of another point. Namely, what the bellboy did next.
Okay, so after he gave the person inside the room whatever.
And the old guy just left without even going into the room.
Where did this bellboy go after you left Mr. Onguard's room?
He opened the door to Viola Hall. Went in there, and who knows after that, right?
I do.
After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat.
Did you see anything strange, suspicious, or just out of ordinary at the time?
Oh yeah, I saw that one thing.
What? He saw something else?
There was this jittery alien with a ray gun. It was watching Juan's door like some sort of stalker.
I think we could forget about the alien. Will knows who that is. He's talked to her. There. I mean, in this game. Whatever.
Well, Mr. Powers' testimony just now was just as vague as first. It's a little troublesome, isn't it? But I'm sure if you press him enough, everything will become clearer. Although, that just makes it harder on us, doesn't it?
Talk about a lose-lose situation.
Is it... There was that one other question, right? I think there was...
So, who took this something the bellboy handed off?
Actually, I don't know.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm.
Only an arm?
Then you're saying that you didn't see the person's face?
Yeah. I would like to summarize the testimony up until this point if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm. Yes, it was just like that.
Mr. Edward, is all this really that important?
Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance. This is where whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client.
Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off. Didn't they no security cameras?
Well, let's see. I think it was... No...
If you remember, please add it to your testimony.
Yes, sir. If I saw it again, I could say for sure, but I think it was some sort of wooden statue.
We do have it! Hey, okay. This seems incredibly out of left field to present this.
What was the point of that pregnant pause? Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up!
It was me, Your Honor. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this.
Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out!
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix. Deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw. Was it this item?
Oh, hey! That's it! That's the something! Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out!
I recall we found this at Matt Ungard's mansion.
At the defendant's house?
Awkward!
What does this mean?
It's simple, Your Honor. Shelley the killer assassinated Juan Corrida in his room. And then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime.
Then the bear being found at Mr. Ungard's mansion would mean...
It goes without saying, Your Honor. Matt Ungard is the killer's client. Ooh. We're stalling for time though, right?
Order! I said, order! Mr. Wright, this is the most unfortunate turn of events for you.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Mia. No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up, whatever. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edward would have. I almost forgot that he knew about it too.
I think it's clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial.
I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please.
Yes, Mr. Wright.
There are still a few points left that we have not fully explored. What are you trying to pull?
Oh, well, we can't have that.
Wait. It's been a while since I saved. Hang on. The last save is on 8, which is my birth date. Not this month, but my birth date. I just like the number 8. So that makes me happy.
All right, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further?
The bear itself, I guess. Right? I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable.
The bear? Mr. Wright?
This was found at Mr. Ungard's mansion. However, Mr. Ungard was arrested at the hotel that night. Which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home.
Oh!
I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It's not possible that it was Mr. Ungard who took this bear to this mansion.
Well, why? That's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken this bear home.
Phew. Disaster averted. Okay.
You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Ungard's mansion. Don't you fucking...
Shut up!
We have this area completely surrounded. There is no way for him to escape.
Shut up. I can't believe it. That butler. All this time, he was the killer. Shut up.
You're trying to.
The killer and On Guard were working together, so to speak. And the killer was hiding at Mr. On Guard's mansion as his butler.
What a bold move.
The bear figurine was brought back to On Guard's mansion by the killer himself.
So what? The man was like, here's the bear for you. And then On Guard was like, thanks. Oh shit, I'm about to be arrested. Take it back.
Okay, sir.
Look how cute the bear is, though. What am I doing? Oh, I had to read. I was like, what am I doing? I was just staring at the bear.
When it looked like he was being about to be arrested, On Guard had him do so. I assumed because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now.
This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all?
I have to try. I have to find something else.
What will you do now, Mr. Wright? Do you plan to?
I plan to expose I plan to expose a clearly shaky place in Mr. Powers' testimony.
What? There's still another one?
There is indeed, Your Honor, and it's quite a questionable point. What are you trying to pull?
Oh, well, we can't have that.
Oh.
All right, Mr.
I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. Mr. Powers' testimony, of course. What? I don't know.
Huh? I know that my testimony was kind of shaky, but
Your inanity. Inanity? That sounds like it should be correct. Your inanity stupefies me, Mr. Wright. Whatever. We've already clarified all questionable points during the cross-examination just now.
Eric.
Okay, so that wasn't the right answer. Wasting time like this, calling the testimony questionable. I'd say it's your head that's questionable here.
Huh, not my head! Ah!
Fine. Fine.
Yes, I agree. The cross-examination went smoothly and there was nothing wrong with the testimony. Now then, I believe. But please wait! You're being very persistent today.
Because I can't let it end like this. I know my outburst just now was a little questionable. Questionable indeed.
I'm stalling for time, you see, it was on purpose.
But there really are some questionable points left to discuss, Your Honor. What are you trying to pull?
Oh, okay, well, we can't have that. I guess. Yeah.
There was one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear. And that's the identity of the person who received the bear.
he gave something to the person inside the room. I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm.
As long as we don't know who it was that took that bear. We can't be sure. Huh? What?
What is it, Mr. Powers? Why did you question mark? If you're gonna scream like that, then at least give us a good reason why.
Oh yeah, sorry. Actually, so I remembered. I remembered who took the bear.
What?
Really?
I mean, I only saw his arm. But, the arm. It was a Nickel Samurai's arm. I swear it.
You've gotta be kidding!
Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers?
Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai.
Order! Order! It looks like you've dug your own grave. Yes, again.
How many times is that today? I've lost count. I have so much graves. And so the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And, as we all know, Matt Ongard is the Nickel Samurai.
Thanks to the defense, we've made that all very clear.
Whatever.
I think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion. As well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client, who hired the assassin to commit the murder, was Mr. Matt Ongard.
I see no reason for this trial to continue. Therefore, I will now hand down my verdict.
Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you? And now your friend will perish. I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edgeworth has stated is the truth.
Any last objections, Mr. Wright?
Well, do I? What should I do?
Well, I'm gonna save first. Did we stall for enough time? Is it ready? Are we ready to like fucking stop? I don't know. Bitch, I don't know. I'm gonna raise an objection, I guess.
I will now announce my verdict.
There's only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is this one dirty trick.
Your Honor?
Right now, we have these two reasons to believe my client is the assassin's client. Reason number 1, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number 2, that very same figurine was found at Enguarde's mansion. However, it's possible that this is all the work of a certain other person.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client.
The real client?
Yes. Is this all you have?
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the killer's real client, and therefore the real murderer?